So, you're a sociology student, and you're probably asking yourself, okay, what's next? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to build your personal action plan to turn that passion for sociology into a really rewarding career in social work. Let's jump in. All right, let's just get right to the big question, right? You absolutely love digging into how society works, but you also want to do more than just study it. You want to actively help people. So, can that degree really lead to a career where you're making a real, tangible difference? And the answer? It is a huge, resounding yes. Seriously, your background in sociology isn't just a good fit for social work, it's an incredibly powerful foundation. Let's break down exactly why. Okay, so before we connect the dots between your degree and this career, let's get on the same page. What does a social worker actually do, day in and day out? Well, at its very core, the job is all about helping people, individuals, families, whole communities, navigate and overcome the challenges life throws at them. Being a social worker isn't just one thing. They wear a ton of different hats. You're not stuck in one single role. One day you might be doing one-on-one therapy, and the next you could be in a government building advocating for a policy change that could help thousands. It is an incredibly dynamic field. Now for the cool part. How does that sociology degree you're working so hard for give you a massive head start? Because trust me, it does. This is where all that academic training transforms into your professional superpower. Okay, superpower number one, you understand social systems. Social workers don't just see one person with one problem. They see the whole complicated web of things, social structures, institutions, community issues that are impacting that person's life. And guess what? That is exactly what sociology has trained you to see. And then there's superpower number two, your research and analysis skills. You might not even realize how valuable this is, but social work demands that you assess a client's needs, you gather information, and you figure out if a certain program is actually effective. That's not guesswork. That's a data-driven skill you've been honing with every single paper you've written. This next one, it's a huge deal. Superpower number three is cultural competency. Through your studies, you've been trained to understand diversity, inequality, and just the vast array of different cultural backgrounds. In social work, this is not a nice-to-have skill. It is absolutely fundamental to helping people ethically and effectively. And that brings us to what might just be your biggest advantage of all, critical thinking. Sociology teaches you to look beyond the surface issues and see the root causes of a problem. So, for example, in a clinical setting, you're not just treating a client's anxiety, you're also understanding the systemic things like poverty or discrimination that are contributing to it. That perspective is just vital. All right, so you've got the superpowers, the foundational skills are there. Now for the practical stuff. What's the actual roadmap to get you from here to there? Let's look at the concrete steps you need to take. So when you look at it, there are basically two main paths you can take. Your bachelor's in sociology can get you in the door for a lot of great entry-level jobs right after you graduate. But if you're aiming for those more advanced clinical roles, you're going to need a master's in social work, what's called an MSW. And here's the key. Your sociology degree is the perfect launchpad for those grad school programs. Okay, so what can you start doing like today? You got to build up that hands-on experience. Start volunteering with local social service organizations. Actively look for internships in human services. Even getting a part-time job in a related field helps. All of this is just invaluable, not just for landing a job, but for making your application to a master's program really stand out. Okay, let's fast forward a bit. You've put in all this work, you've gotten the degree, you've got the experience. What's the payoff? Let's talk about the job market and, yeah, what you can expect to earn. First off, the career outlook is really, really good. Job growth for social workers is projected to be 7% over the next decade. Now, that might just sound like a number, but that's faster than the average for all other jobs. It means you're stepping into a stable field where you're actually in demand. So, what does a 7% growth rate actually look like in real numbers? Well, it means there are about 67,300 job openings projected every single year. The opportunities are definitely out there for graduates who are prepared. All right, let's talk money. What can you expect to earn? With a bachelor's degree, you're typically looking at entry-level positions, starting in the $40,000 to $50,000 range. But look at the chart. The real story here is the jump you get with an MSW. Getting that master's to do clinical work can boost your salary potential up over $70,000. It is a really smart long-term investment in your career. Okay, we've gone through a ton of info. Let's boil it all down into a final, super clear checklist that you can use to launch your career starting right now. Here it is, your to-do list. Number 1, get that hands-on experience we talked about. Number 2, start looking into MSW programs now. See what they require. Number 3, network. Talk to people actually working in the field. And 4, start exploring specializations. Do you lean more toward mental health or maybe child and family services? Find what really lights you up. I really want to leave you with this idea. Your degree in sociology isn't just some stepping stone you have to get through. It is a genuine asset. It gives you this unique, critical perspective that will serve you and, more importantly, your future clients for your entire career. And that's a wrap. I really hope this action plan helps you see a clear path forward. But hey, the conversation doesn't have to stop here. I want to turn it over to you now. What questions do you still have about becoming a social worker? Let me know. Drop them in the comments below.